Imagine a time when France wasn't known as France but as Gaul, a territory conquered by Julius Caesar in 50 BC. In the heart of Europe, a story steeped in the annals of time unfolds, a tale of conquest, transformation, and resilience. We travel back to a time when the land we now know as France was called Gaul, a vast territory stretching from the Pyrenees to the Rhine, a realm of tribes and chieftains, a land conquered by none other than Julius Caesar himself. In the 1st century BC, the Roman Empire, led by the indomitable Caesar, embarked on an ambitious campaign to expand its territories. Gaul, rich in resources and strategically located, was a prime target. The Gallic Wars, as they came to be known, were brutal and transformative, forever altering the course of Gaul's history. The Roman conquest of Gaul was not just a military takeover, it was a cultural and linguistic invasion that would shape the destiny of the region in ways unimaginable. The Romans introduced Latin to Gaul, a language that would seep into the fabric of Gallic society, influencing its own native tongues and eventually evolving into the French language we know today. Moreover, the Romans brought with them their advanced architectural practices, their legal codes, and their social structures. They built cities, aqueducts, and theaters, turning the wild landscapes of Gaul into a mirror image of Rome itself. Yet the Gauls were not merely passive recipients of Roman culture. They adapted and assimilated, weaving Roman influences into their own unique tapestry of traditions and beliefs. This synthesis of cultures laid the foundation for the emergence of a distinct Gallo-Roman identity, a precursor to what would eventually become the French nation. And so the land of Gaul began its first transformation, setting the stage for what we now know as France. The Roman conquest of Gaul was a pivotal chapter in the history of France, a hidden gem that illuminates the roots of French culture and identity. It is a testament to the enduring spirit of the Gauls and their ability to transform adversity into a catalyst for growth and evolution. Fast forward to 486 AD, a pivotal year that marked the emergence of the Frankish kingdom under the leadership of Clovis I. As the curtains rise on this new era, we see Clovis I, a charismatic and ambitious leader, taking the reins of a kingdom that would, in time, evolve into modern France. Clovis's reign was marked by a series of military successes, including the decisive defeat of the last great Roman army in Gaul. His victories not only expanded the territorial boundaries of the Frankish kingdom, but also solidified the Franks' dominance over other Germanic tribes. Yet, his military prowess was not the only factor that shaped the destiny of this nascent kingdom. An event of monumental significance during Clovis's reign was his conversion to Christianity. In a world dominated by pagan practices, Clovis's adoption of the Christian faith was a radical departure from the norm. But it wasn't a decision made in haste or without motive. Christianity was the religion of the Romans, and by aligning himself with it, Clovis was able to gain the support of the Roman Church and the Gallo-Roman aristocracy. This move was not just politically astute but also culturally transformative. It set the stage for the Christianization of the Frankish kingdom, thereby influencing the religious and cultural fabric of France for centuries to come. Clovis's reign also witnessed the establishment of the Merovingian dynasty, named after his legendary ancestor, Merovech. This dynasty, known for its long-haired kings, reigned for over 2 centuries, shaping the political landscape of the Frankish kingdom. Clovis I's legacy is deeply intertwined with the history of France. His military victories, his conversion to Christianity, and the establishment of the Merovingian dynasty were key events that steered the course of the Frankish kingdom and, by extension, France. With the rise of the Frankish kingdom, the foundations of modern France were firmly established. The echoes of Clovis's decisions still reverberate through the annals of French history, reminding us of a time when a new dawn broke over the land that we now know as France. Enter the 8th century, a time of great upheaval and the rise of one of history's most influential figures, Charlemagne. As the king of the Franks, Charlemagne found himself ruling over a realm fraught with division and strife. But rather than accept this as the status quo, he dared to envision a united Western Europe under his reign. Courageously, he embarked on a series of military campaigns, expanding his dominion and gradually bringing the disparate tribes under his control. Charlemagne's pursuits weren't solely martial. He also sought to foster a cultural and intellectual revival, an era known as the Carolingian Renaissance. He invited scholars from around the world to his court, encouraging the study of the arts, literature, and sciences. He championed the standardization of written script, a move that would prove fundamental to the preservation of classical texts. His reign saw the construction of magnificent architectural marvels, including the renowned Palatine Chapel. In education, he instituted a system of schools to ensure that even commoners could receive a basic education. Charlemagne's time on the throne was a period of unprecedented intellectual and cultural growth, setting the stage for the future of Western civilization. But while Charlemagne's reign was marked by significant triumphs, it was not without its challenges. Political intrigues and external threats constantly threatened the stability of his empire. Despite his best efforts to establish a line of succession, his empire was divided among his grandsons after his death, leading to a period of infighting and fragmentation. Charlemagne's empire, as grand as it was, would not last. But his influence on France and Europe was indelible. His vision for a united Europe, his commitment to cultural and intellectual revival, and his efforts to establish a sturdy governance have left an enduring legacy. His reign, though marked by both triumphs and trials, stands testament to the indomitable spirit of a leader who dared to dream and strive for a better tomorrow. Charlemagne's empire would not last, but his influence on France and Europe was everlasting. As the 10th century dawned, the fragmented territories left by Charlemagne's empire were gradually united under the Capetian dynasty. The Capetians, a powerful noble family, emerged as the leading force in the reassembly of Charlemagne's once great empire. With Hugh Capet's ascension to the throne in 987, the Capetian dynasty was born, marking a major turning point in French history. Under the Capetians, the concept of feudalism, a hierarchical system of land use and patronage, became the bedrock of French society. Powerful lords ruled over their lands with almost sovereign authority, while serfs and peasants worked the land in exchange for protection. It was a system that both stabilized and stratified society, creating a complex web of loyalties and obligations that would shape French culture for centuries. Yet, amidst the decentralization of power, a paradoxical trend was also taking root. The Capetians were steadily centralizing control in Paris. This process was gradual but deliberate. The city, already an important hub because of its strategic location on the River Seine, began to blossom into a vibrant center of politics, culture, and trade. Over the course of the 10th and 11th centuries, the Capetian kings fortified their grip on the throne, effectively making the kingship hereditary. This was a significant shift. No longer would the throne be contested among various noble families. The Capetians set a precedent, establishing the throne of France as a birthright, passed from father to son. And so it was under the Capetian dynasty that France began to take shape. The foundations of a kingdom were laid, a kingdom that would endure and evolve over the next millennium, surviving wars, revolutions, and dramatic shifts in global power. The birth of the French kingdom was not a singular event, but a process, a gradual weaving together of territories, cultures, and ideals under the banner of a single dynasty. A process that was as complex as it was transformative, setting the stage for the France we know today. This period marked the birth of the French kingdom as we know it. The 14th century brought with it a devastating conflict known as the 100 Years' War. Yet out of this chaos emerged a figure of hope, Joan of Arc. The 100 Years' War, despite its name, was not one continuous conflict but a series of sporadic battles, skirmishes, and sieges that spanned from the mid-14th century to the mid-15th century. This was a time when the kingdoms of England and France were locked in a brutal struggle for dominance. The war was marked by significant social and economic disruption, with France bearing the brunt of the devastation. But amidst this turmoil, a beacon of hope shone bright for France. A young peasant girl from the rural village of Domremy, Joan of Arc, claimed to have received visions from saints, instructing her to support Charles VII and recover France from English domination. Despite her humble origins and lack of military training, Joan's charisma and unwavering faith inspired those around her. She was instrumental in lifting the siege of Orléans in 1429, a turning point in the war that reinvigorated the demoralized French forces. Subsequently, she played a key role in ensuring Charles VII's coronation, further bolstering French morale. However, Joan's story was not without tragedy. Captured by the Burgundian faction, a group of French nobles allied with the English, she was sold to the English and put on trial for heresy. Despite a rigged trial, Joan's spirit remained unbroken. She was ultimately sentenced to death and burned at the stake in 1431, at the tender age of 19. Yet Joan's legacy lived on. Her courage, conviction, and dedication to her cause stirred the hearts of her compatriots, spurring them on to eventually win the war. She was posthumously declared innocent and a martyr by the Catholic Church, and centuries later, canonized as a saint. Despite the turmoil, France emerged stronger, with a renewed sense of national identity. The Hundred Years' War, while a period of immense suffering, was also a crucible for the forging of a unified France. And in the heart of this transformation was a courageous young woman, Joan of Arc, who became an enduring symbol of French resilience and determination. The 16th and 17th centuries were a time of great cultural and intellectual awakening in France, marking the French Renaissance and Enlightenment. The air was thick with ideas, the streets vibrant with discourse, and the minds of the people illuminated. During the French Renaissance, a cultural movement of an unprecedented scale took place. Art, literature, and science flourished as knowledge became increasingly accessible to the masses. The invention of the printing press enabled the rapid spread of literacy, making once privileged information available to all. This democratization of knowledge was instrumental in the evolution of society and the shaping of modern France. In the realm of science, the Enlightenment era saw a surge of discoveries that fundamentally changed our understanding of the world. The heliocentric model proposed by Copernicus was championed by Galileo, challenging the Church's geocentric view. This symbolized a broader shift from religious doctrine to empirical evidence and rational thought. Philosophy too underwrote this period of enlightenment. The great thinkers of this age, such as Voltaire and Rousseau, questioned the very fabric of society. They contemplated the nature of man, the role of government, and the inherent rights of the individual. These dialogues gave birth to the concepts of democracy and human rights, cornerstones of modern society. The French Enlightenment was not just a period of intellectual growth, but a cultural revolution. It brought forth a new worldview, one that valued reason, science, and the power of the individual. It was the dawn of a new era, one where knowledge was power, and power was in the hands of the many, not the few. These periods of enlightenment and Renaissance shaped France into a beacon of culture and intellect. They laid the groundwork for the nation we know today, one that continues to inspire and innovate. The French Renaissance and Enlightenment were not just periods in history, they were catalysts of change, sparking a global shift towards reason, democracy, and human rights. The year 1789 marked the start of a revolution that would forever change the political landscape of France. In the late 18th century, France was steeped in economic crisis, social inequality, and political corruption. The old feudal order of the monarchy, clergy, and nobility held the reins of power, while the commoners bore the brunt of taxation and hardship. This imbalance was the kindling for a revolution, ignited by widespread famine and the influence of Enlightenment ideals. The spark that set the revolution ablaze was the storming of the Bastille on July 14, 1789. This fortress prison, a symbol of royal authority in the heart of Paris, was attacked by an angry and aggressive mob. The fall of Bastille triggered a wave of rebellion across the country, marking the onset of the French Revolution. As the revolution progressed, the French monarchy crumbled, replaced by a republic that was unfortunately riddled with its own set of problems. The Reign of Terror, a period of intense violence and political purge, ensued under the leadership of Maximilien Robespierre. Thousands were sent to the guillotine in the name of liberty, equality, and fraternity, the revolutionary ideals that ironically were being undermined. However, amidst the chaos and bloodshed, the revolution paved the way for a new leader to emerge: Napoleon Bonaparte. He rose to prominence during the latter stages of the revolution, demonstrating exceptional military skills and political acumen. Napoleon's rise to power marked the end of the French Revolution and the beginning of a new era in French history. The French Revolution, despite its turbulence and turmoil, brought about significant changes. It dismantled the absolute monarchy, curtailed the power of the church, and introduced revolutionary principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity. It was a period of radical political and societal change in France, which had a lasting impact on the nation and indeed the world. The French Revolution brought an end to monarchy, setting the stage for modern democracy. The French Revolution gave rise to one of history's most renowned figures, Napoleon Bonaparte. Born on the island of Corsica, Napoleon rose through the ranks of the French military during the Revolution, ultimately seizing power in a coup d'état in November of 1799. Napoleon's reign as first consul and later as emperor was marked by a series of military conquests that expanded the borders of France and established the French Empire. His strategic genius and ruthless efficiency led to victories across Europe, from the sun-drenched plains of Italy to the icy expanse of Russia. However, his ambition was his downfall. His disastrous campaign in Russia and defeat at the Battle of Waterloo marked the end of his reign. Yet Napoleon's influence extended beyond the battlefield. His most enduring legacy lies in the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive set of civil laws enacted in 1804. This legal system, which emphasized equality before the law and the protection of civil liberties, shaped the modern legal systems of many countries around the world. The code abolished feudal privileges, established the concept of meritocracy, and upheld the principles of the French Revolution: liberty, equality, and fraternity. Napoleon's reign, though short-lived, left a lasting impact on France and the world. He transformed a nation in chaos into a formidable empire, and his legal reforms continue to influence legal systems worldwide. Despite his eventual defeat, Napoleon remains a figure of fascination, a symbol of ambition, power, and the transformative nature of history. As we delve deeper into the annals of French history, we see that Napoleon's legacy is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the French people, their resilience in the face of adversity, and their relentless pursuit of progress. So as we move forward, let's remember the lessons from Napoleon's era: the price of ambition, the power of strategic thinking, and the enduring impact of systemic reforms. And above all, let's remember Napoleon's reign, though short-lived, left a lasting impact on France and the world. The 20th century brought with it two devastating world wars, testing the resilience and spirit of the French people. France, in the early part of the century, found itself in the throes of the First World War, a conflict of unprecedented scale. The nation's courage was tested on the Western Front, where French forces waged relentless battles against the German Empire. Despite the heavy toll, France emerged victorious, but the peace was short-lived. The Second World War soon cast a dark shadow over Europe. France, still recovering from the wounds of the First War, fell to the Nazi forces in June 1940. The nation's capital, the City of Lights, Paris, was occupied. But even in the face of such adversity, the spirit of the French people was far from extinguished. In the heart of this occupied nation arose the French resistance, a beacon of hope amidst the darkness of war. Composed of men and women, young and old, these brave souls undertook covert operations, disrupting German supply lines, gathering intelligence for the Allies, and spreading anti-Nazi propaganda. Their actions not only hindered the German war effort, but also served as a powerful symbol of French defiance. Notable among the resistance fighters was Jean Moulin, a man whose dedication to the cause led him to unify the various factions of the resistance under one umbrella, the Conseil National de la Résistance. His capture and subsequent death are a testament to the bravery of these unsung heroes. The resistance also aided the Allies during the liberation of Paris in August 1944. As the German forces retreated, the resistance fighters rose, liberating their beloved city in a historic uprising, a moment of triumph amidst the turmoil. In the aftermath, the resistance's role in the war was recognized and celebrated. Many of its members, like Lucie Aubrac and André Malraux, played significant roles in shaping post-war France. Despite the devastation, the French spirit remained unbroken, exemplified by the heroic efforts of the resistance. The resilience and courage of the French people during these trying times are a testament to their indomitable spirit, a spirit that continues to define France to this day. In the aftermath of the World Wars, France emerged as a leading global power and a champion of European unity. This transformation was no small feat. The mid-20th century was a time of reinvention for France, a period of rediscovery and rebirth. The country was in ruins after the World Wars, yet from the ashes of destruction, the Fifth Republic was born in 1958. Under the leadership of Charles de Gaulle, the Constitution was reframed, giving the president extensive powers, a system which still stands today. De Gaulle's term as president marked a new era for France, one of growth, stability, and international recognition. But France's influence didn't stop at its borders. In the quest for peace, stability, and economic prosperity, France played a pivotal role in founding the European Union. Along with 5 other nations, France signed the Treaty of Rome in 1957, establishing the European Economic Community. This was the first step towards what we now know as the EU, a union of 27 countries. France's commitment to the European project reflects its dedication to cooperation, unity, and shared prosperity. Fast forward to the 21st century, and France's standing in the world today is nothing short of remarkable. It's a key player in international affairs, a leader in science, technology, and culture, and a beacon of democracy and human rights. France's economy is one of the largest in the world, its culture is renowned globally, and French, the language of diplomacy, is spoken by millions. Yet, despite its progress and achievements, France never forgets its past. It cherishes its history, its values, its language, and its traditions. From the majestic Château de Versailles to the bustling streets of Paris, from the serene countryside of Provence to the stunning beaches of the French Riviera, every corner of France tells a story of its rich and diverse history. From its humble beginnings as Gaul to its current status as a global leader, France's history is a testament to its resilience and spirit. This is the story of France, a nation reborn from the ashes, a nation that continues to inspire and captivate the world. As we've journeyed through the expansive history of France, we've encountered wars, revolutions, kings, and emperors, all of which have shaped the nation we see today. In the beginning, we delved into the hidden gems of French history, unearthing the rich tapestry of events that have given France its unique identity. Then, we ventured back to the dawn of the Frankish kingdom, where the seeds of France's future were sown. We've witnessed the rise and fall of Charlemagne's empire, a time of great conquest and expansion, which solidified the Frankish kingdom's influence across Europe. This era set the stage for the birth of the French kingdom, a period marked by political evolution and cultural vibrancy. In the crucible of the 100 Years' War, we saw the emergence of national heroes like Joan of Arc, whose courage and determination still inspire awe. The war, as devastating as it was, played a pivotal role in shaping France's national identity. We then explored the French Renaissance and Enlightenment, periods of remarkable intellectual and cultural growth that have left an indelible mark on the world. The ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity born in this era would later fuel the fires of the French Revolution, a seismic event that would forever change the course of history. The Revolution gave birth to a new France, one that was soon swept up in the whirlwind of Napoleon Bonaparte's ambitions. Under Napoleon, France expanded and evolved, its influence reaching the far corners of the globe. Our journey also took us through the dark days of the World Wars, where the spirit of the French resistance shone brightly against the backdrop of global conflict. It was a testament to the indomitable spirit of the French people, their resilience in the face of adversity, and their unwavering commitment to liberty. Finally, we arrived at modern France, a nation that has emerged from the crucible of history as a beacon of culture, innovation, and progress. Today, France stands as a testament to its rich history, its triumphs and tribulations echoing in its splendid architecture, its world-renowned cuisine, its influential fashion, and its vibrant art scene. Our journey through France's history, while extensive, has merely skimmed the surface of this nation's fascinating story. Each era, each figure, each event is a thread in the intricate tapestry that is France. We've traveled from the dawn of the Frankish kingdom to the streets of modern Paris, witnessing the evolution of a nation, the shaping of its identity, and the resilience of its people. And yet the story of France is far from over. History continues to unfold, and France continues to evolve, its past serving as a foundation for its future. Thank you for staying with us to the end. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for future notifications. Bye till next time.